You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
Right, so we're now joined with Jeremy and Janys, and we're going to be talking all about Promenade today. Firstly, welcome along. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you. Yes, Promenade is a festival on Sheppey to celebrate its rich culture, the arts, architecture, history, and to show people on the island, and beyond, that there's some unique things to be seen here.
Last year we had a really good promenade. It was the vision of Will Palin, who's a local resident, and his father, Michael Palin, appeared at the Sheppey Little Theatre. We also had Dan Cruikshanks, the historian, and at the Blue Town Heritage Centre we had Ptolemy Dean, Edwin Heathcote and Christopher Woodward, who talked about architecture, and it was really, really fantastic. The Big Fish did Punch and Judy on the seafront. There was a really, really fantastic dance group which the council had bid for money for, called Academy, who did a number of productions at the beach fields over the 2 days, and it was really, really fantastic. They were fantastic dancers. I can't say how wonderful they were. There was lots of other things as well. There was an exhibition at the Blue Town Heritage Centre of photographs from Sheppey School, which there was also photos done by George Plemper and by people from Catch 22. On top of that, there was other things, such as in the Room venue, there was an exhibition about light railway. There were tours of the Sheerness dockyard, and Shirland Hall opened its doors, and there was 300 people visited Shirland Hall over the weekend, and that was really, really fantastic.
So will we be seeing more of the same thing this year?
Last year was the first time we'd organised Promenade. Bit of an experiment, which we felt worked well. This year's going to be different. We're not going to have big names, but we had some feedback last year saying, why just Sheerness? So we're going to have it right across the island, and we want to see a lot more people coming to a Promenade event. There's a very loose theme, What the Dickens, which is using the 200th anniversary of Dickens' birth to give people ideas if they need them. Dickens did spend a bit of time living on the island as a child. His father was employed by the dockyard, both at Sheerness and Chatham Dockyard. So we're planning to have things in Minster, Sheerness, Harty and Queenborough. We're working hard to finalise the programme so we can start releasing the details, and we also hope to get interest in East Church and Laysdown as well.
We are at the moment talking to Janys and Jeremy. We're talking all about Promenade. We're talking at the moment to Janys and Jeremy, and we're talking all about this year's Promenade. Who is organising Promenade this year?
Well, what we did this year, different to last year, was that we decided that we wanted to continue and have another Promenade. So I decided to call a meeting and see who was interested, and contacted all the different arts groups on the island. And we had a meeting, I think it was about November, and lots of people came. And out of that meeting, we pulled a core team to work together, and that consists of Chris from the Big Fish, Jenny Herkett from the Blue Town Heritage Centre, Heather from the Sheppey Tourism Alliance, as well as Jeremy and I from the Sheppey Little Theatre. And we've been working together to organise Promenade. We had a lot of feedback from last year's events, and what people were saying was that they wanted to see more of the same, but just better and around the island. So the group has been meeting regularly to pull it together, and we had another meeting in April where we invited the groups, the local groups, to come back with ideas of what they wanted to put on, and that was really, really successful. That was about the 19th, I think, of April, and there was a number of people there. I think it was about 20 different representatives from different groups, and so there's a lot of interest in putting on another festival for this coming year.
So can you give us an idea of what to expect?
Yeah, we want to make Promenade this year as visible as we can, with posters and banners advertising the dates, which are the 21st, 22nd and 23rd of September. The aim isn't to do Dickens, we can't compete with Rochester, but to think of something unique to Sheppey. The people from Norwood Manor have got Victorian photographs circa of when he was alive, and they're going to do something with them and possibly a talk. The writers group are going to read their own work in different locations around the island. Dickens was, of course, very famous for reading his own work.
Yeah, and Big Fish are going to do a play about the barges. They've been inspired by the hulks that used to be on the river that were in Great Expectations. Blue Town Heritage centre. They're going to show some of the old Dickens films, like the David Lean's Great Expectations. And there's going to be talks. I understand Jenny was saying only this week she'd managed to get somebody from Radio Kent to do a talk. Will Palin's going to talk at the Sheppey Little Theatre about the architecture in the dockyard, and Jeremy is going to be talking about the ships built in the dockyard. The Sheppey Little Theatre managed to get some funding from the Co-op Community Fund, which we're really, really excited about, to put on some dramas. And the first one of the dramas that we're going to use that money for is a play called Miss Havisham's Expectations. And we had hoped to get John Shuttleworth, the radio star, but unfortunately, for those who remember him from the 1970s, we were jilted by Jilted John. Other things that are going on are Big Fish are organising a parade for the opening day on the Friday, right. And there's going to be sort of people dressing in Victorian costumes and sort of parading from the High Street into Beachfields, or vice versa, I'm not quite sure which. And the Over 60s Club in Laysdown, they're participating in that, and Big Fish are helping them with the costumes. But we really want people to sort of come along from all over the island, young and old, and everybody, to sort of see if they want to participate. And if anybody has got ideas that haven't been covered and thinks they would be able to put something on local to themselves, we're producing a leaflet in July, so if they'd like to contact us, then we'd be grateful to put that on. There's a couple of other things that have happened this year which are going to culminate at the Promenade, which is the 365 photography event, and that's going to be on at Castle Connect. And Big Fish we're doing a project called Old Man River, which they'd had funding for, and that is also going to culminate at the Promenade. So we're going to see sort of a couple of things pulled together at the end there.
We think we're also going to be able to use Hearty Church to do some readings, and I think we're hoping to talk to Hearty Ferry Inn as well to organise something to coincide with that. So yeah, really this is very much island-wide and getting as many people involved as we can.
We are at the moment talking to Jeremy and Janys, and we're talking all about this year's Promenade. So we are at the moment talking to Janys and Jeremy, and we're talking all about this year's Promenade. So what if people want to put their own event on during Promenade? Is there still time for them to get involved?
Yes, there is. But if they want to be included on the leaflet, they'll need to get in touch with us quite quickly. They can email any of the organisers via our website, which is sheppeypromenade, all one word, .org. There's also phone details if people want to ring us on that website as well. We'd say come and join us. We think we've got an island to be proud of with a richness of history and hot culture, which is hard to beat, and we want to get as many people to join in to make Promenade 2012 a real success across the whole of the island.
Now, what if people want to help provide funding for it?
Well, we're always grateful for funding, as you are, Daniel. If they want to help fund us, then please contact us either via the website or via the Sheppey Little Theatre or Big Fish. Or if you want to support one of the smaller groups locally, then please do so. And we've been quite lucky. We've had some funding from some of the councillors from their local funds that they have available. And as I said earlier, we've had funding from the Co-op. So we've also had a big sheep donated to us, right, which is a notice board that we're going to be putting up that one of the local businesses has donated to us. So anything that you feel you could donate to us, any money or any materials that would be of use to us, that'd be fantastic. One of the main things at the moment is we're hoping to put banners up off the lamppost down through the High Street. So if anybody could help us with that, either with funding or if any of the local printers or people involved in sort of making that kind of thing is interested in helping us, then please do contact us.
So who would be the typical Promenade visitor?
They could be anyone really, young or old. They could live on the island or on the mainland. They're probably going to want to come and see some interesting things. They're going to be interested in drama, history, architecture. If they come to the opening parade, they're probably going to be interested in seeing something quite spectacular with colourful costumes, music and a real hubbub. So the answer is come along and see what we've got to offer. we expect to be putting up posters across the island, doing leafleting in village and town centres, and we hope to have a fair bit of publicity in the local papers.
Now, I was wondering before you go if you could just refresh our listeners when Promenade is, and also let them know of any contact details where they can find out more.
Yeah, it's the 21st, 22nd, 23rd of September. The contact details are all on our website, which we've just recently put up, which is sheppeypromenade, all one word, .org. So yeah, we've got email addresses and telephone numbers. If anyone wants to get involved at all, just give us a ring, give us an email.
Jeremy and Janys, I'd like to thank you both very much for coming along and telling us all about Promenade.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel.